welcome back to Just Ether TV. And in this episode, we're gonna be talking about mindset. Mindset is very, very important. It can be the difference between living our dream and running into wall after wall of frustration. However, if we can change our mindset, we can change the game. So in this episode, we're gonna be talking about a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, how they work, what they are, and then how you can use them to get whatever it is that you really want. If that sounds interesting, keep watching, and by the end of this video, you will have the tools you need to reprogram your mind. All right, so let's get into it. So first, what is a mindset? Our mindset is essentially the frame of reference that we're operating from. So everything that we're thinking, that we're feeling, everything that we do, every action that we take, all of that is really dependent on what our mindset is. So now that we've defined what a mindset is, let's take a closer look at the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. In her book, Mindset, Carol Dweck explains that a growth mindset is essentially the belief that we can change, that we can get better, that we can improve, that we're capable of achieving something great, even if we're not there right now. People in the growth mindset, they would look at a setback or a challenge or a failure as something that is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to kind of pivot so they can keep going and keep moving forward towards whatever their goal is. To contrast with that, somebody with a fixed mindset is somebody who believes basically that this is just who they are, that whatever skills they possess or that they feel that they don't possess, that's just kind of the way they are, and they're gonna be better at some things and worse than others, but it's the way it is. Now guys, we all have both mindsets, right? I mean, sometimes we feel comfortable and confident and sometimes we don't. We might have a growth mindset in some things, like maybe school or going after that new job we want. But we might have a little bit of a more fixed mindset in other things, like maybe going up to that girl, going up to that guy, or asking for the number, or whatever it is that you want to do. There might be certain things that you just feel like maybe you do hit that wall. Maybe that is just who you are. Okay, so now that we know what mindset is, growth mindset, fixed mindset, let's go back to the drawing board for a second, and I want to show you how this all works, how our mindset affects the results we're getting, and then how to reprogram our mind so we're getting the results that we actually want to be getting. All right, let's go. So I'm going to draw something for us here for a moment, and then I'm going to explain how this works, okay? All right, you can see that? Okay. So up here we have, I'll write this out for us. I think I spelled that right. I know my handwriting is kind of terrible. Don't judge me, please. So up here on the top, we have our conscious mind. This is our thinking mind. And the conscious mind is the part that we have control over. So everything that we think, that we put into our mind, the movies we watch, the books we read, the TV shows, the people we hang out with, all of that, everything that we put into our mind, that all goes right there in the conscious mind. The next part that we have is the subconscious mind. So let's write this out. Again, please don't judge me on my handwriting. Okay, so here we have the subconscious mind. So what is the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind, as opposed to the thinking mind up here, is described as the feeling mind. Researchers believe that the subconscious mind is very, very, very vast, and that we're just beginning to slowly understand a little bit about how it works. And something very interesting that they found is that the subconscious mind cannot decide what to accept and what to reject from the conscious mind. So what that means, in other words, is that anything that we put into our conscious mind that you can see here, our subconscious has to accept it as true. And to tie this all together, down here, we have our body, okay? Here's our body. Nice body, right? So whatever it is that we put in our mind, in our conscious, that we decide, it goes to our subconscious, which it has to accept. Then it goes to the body, which means we take some sort of action and we get some sort of result. So to break this down a little more, let's take a look at an example. This system is a lot like the system of a computer programmer. Let's give the computer programmer a little smiley face, just to, keep things positive with all the coronavirus stuff going around. So our computer programmer, he gets to decide what type of computer program to make, right? So he can make a good one or a bad one. I'm not a computer programmer, but this is a good example, so don't hold me to the details of this. But let's just say, to keep things super simple, that our computer programmer here with the smiley face, he makes computer program A. And let's say that A is a really, really great program for the computer. Once a computer programmer writes this, it's kind of like putting it into the conscious mind that goes down into the subconscious mind. So for the computer, obviously the computer doesn't get to decide, hey man, I don't wanna load this. The computer has to say, okay, cool, take in the program, put it into the system, right? So now the program is in the system and the computer starts running it and it gets some sort of result. And guys, the reason that I write A is because if we put computer program A into a system, we're gonna get out some sort of result A. So for example, if A means it's a strong computer program, it's great, it produces something amazing, the computer has to accept it, it starts to act, and it produces a great result. There are 3 things that we need to do to reprogram our mind. Action number 1, write the program. Remember guys, we are the programmer. We have the power to do that. This program and start getting the results we want, we have to know exactly what it is that we want to put in that program, and we need to make it as detailed as possible so that we put that into our system knows what to do with it. Step number 2, put the program into our conscious mind, which will then go into our subconscious mind. We do this to get good results the exact same way that we got those crappy results from before. We have to run this new program over and over and over again so it really starts to take hold. Now there are basically 2 main ways that we can run this program to get it to go from here in our conscious mind to here in our subconscious mind in the most effective way possible to be getting the results that we want. The first way to do that is with affirmations, and the second way to do that is with visualization. Let's say if your negative thought, let's choose something different. Let's say that you think, oh, I'm broke as a joke. Then your affirmation that you're running in your program might be something like, I'm a millionaire. If your negative thought is, oh, my car is so lame, then maybe your affirmation can be, I have a Lamborghini, or whatever your dream car is. For me, that's my dream car. If your negative thought is, my body is so ugly, then maybe your affirmation could be, my body is sexy and perfect. And remember guys, the same way that we got ourselves into this negative mess, we're gonna get ourselves out the same way, which is through repetition. If we want a 6-pack, we don't just do 30 crunches and call it a day, right? It'd be ridiculous, right? Like we would never do that. We would laugh at ourselves, or if somebody else did that, we would laugh at them. We have to repeat that process over and over and over time. I think there's a lot of debate out there where, people want to know, oh, do affirmations really work? And there's some people that, say they definitely do. And then there's other people that think they're stupid and a waste of time. But I really think to understand whether affirmations work or not, it's really similar to if crunches work or not. I mean, if you do a couple of them, they probably don't work. And if you do a bunch of them every day for 6 months, or even 2 or 3 months, your body's gonna be looking different. As if you do I'm a millionaire a couple times, you're probably not really gonna think that about yourself. You're gonna be like, this is kind of dumb. But if you repeat that for months and months and months, maybe you won't be a millionaire in a couple months, but your mindset will be thinking that way and you will be going in that direction. People say different things of how often should you do affirmations, and I don't know if there's an exact right number. But I would say of whatever affirmations you choose, that positive version of that negative thing you're struggling with, I would say if you write each one maybe 5 times in the morning and 5 times at night, you will start to see that you're perceiving yourself differently and carrying yourself differently. I would say within a couple weeks, you will see a difference. And the second way, guys, that we reprogram our mind to start getting the results that we really want to be getting is through visualization. At this point, you might be thinking, yeah, right, Justin, I'm not doing that. That sounds stupid. I've never done visualization and I don't want to do it. But I have news for you. You have been doing visualization actually. The only thing is your visualization has probably been negative and you just haven't been aware that you're doing it. But if we're getting negative results, it's probably safe to say our visualization was a little bit negative. So guys, something very, very interesting that researchers have found is that when we visualize something, the same neurons in our brain fire as the ones that do when we're actually experiencing that thing. What that means is we are simulating a real experience that we're really feeling in somewhat of a real way that we can use to prepare us for when things really happen. And we are the only species that can do this, guys. This is a really, really incredible thing that we have. Researchers say that we think in images. So we are all using visualization. It's just that we might not be aware of it and it might be negative. Let's give an example of this just so this can make a little more sense. Let's say if you want more sales, you start to write out as clearly as you possibly can, what would that look like? So the customer comes in, you meet them, it goes great, you click immediately, you're helping them, you're serving them, you're there for them, you're guiding them through the process, and then finally you find what they want and they really appreciate it, and then you see them signing the contract and you see them happy and you're happy that you were able to help them. Maybe if we don't have the body we want, maybe we visualize ourselves just going to the gym and having a great workout and eating healthy, and we start to see the cuts in our body that we want to see and can admire ourselves in the mirror, and we go to the beach and we see that people are admiring us. Doing this visualization, what's happening, guys, is that we're putting this program, burning it into our conscious, it's going into our subconscious. Since we think in pictures, and since those same pictures that light up when we're visualizing are the same with real life, we're experiencing this different reality, this different program that we're writing for ourselves, and it's feeling more and more and more real. So people want to know, does visualization really work? So again, we want to think of visualization the same way as affirmation, guys, which is that if we do it a couple times, we're probably not going to start to change the way that we carry ourselves and we move and going towards a certain result. However, if we do it consistently a little bit each day, it's going to start to build those muscles of that program that will go into our subconscious, which it has to accept, that goes into our body to take action to get a different result than the one we were getting before. And the third thing we need to do, guys, is we need to take massive action. Remember what we talked about in the beginning with the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. Fixed mindset person might hear all these things and say, oh wow, Justin, this sounds really, really cool. Of their affirmations and their visualization of that program and burn it into their brain and maybe go try something one time and it doesn't work out, and they would say, you know what? Maybe I just can't do it. Maybe I'm not that type of person. The growth-minded person, on the other hand, would say, okay, cool. So I'm gonna write this great program and I'm gonna do my affirmations and my visualization and I'm gonna be consistent. And when I hit those failures, because they are gonna come, right? That's totally normal. Nobody expects to get, a perfect body because they went and did 30 crunches, right? When they hit those roadblocks, they're gonna keep going and say, oh, okay, how can I learn from this to continue on my path? How can I keep going back to these good programs that I'm writing and keep moving forward? And when we take that massive, massive action every single day over time, guys, really, really good things happen. So just to recap, guys, we learned that a mindset is basically the frame of reference that we're operating from. We learned that a fixed mindset essentially means that you think that this is just who you are as a person and there's nothing really that can be done about it. And we learned that a growth mindset is when you say, hey, I can grow, I can change, I can be something different than it might look like I am right now, and then go for it. We learned that our conscious is our thinking mind, and that this is the part that we control. This is where we put information, what we read, who we hang out with, the movies we watch, the TV shows, the way that we talk to ourselves. This is the part that we have control. We learned that the subconscious, that it can't decide whether it accepts or rejects things, it just has to accept. So if I say I am the type of person that makes a lot of sales, my subconscious has to take that and accept it. We learned that from the subconscious, it goes down to the body, and that we take some sort of action, and ultimately, we get some sort of result. We learned that to change our mindset, we first need to write the program of what it is that we do want. We learned that we can burn this new program into our mind with affirmations of who it is that we do want to be, and visualization of exactly in as much detail as possible how we do want that to go. We learned that, like going to the gym, affirmations and visualizations are things that really do work as long as we can do them consistently and start to see that progress. And we learned finally to take that massive action, and we will keep adjusting to get where it is that we want to go. We have learned that to change your mindset means that you can change the game. So that's it, guys. Again, thank you so much. Lots of love. I will talk to you guys very soon. Peace.